All right, guys. This is going to be your test review for the exponential functions, for the exponent rules, your waterfall test. I'm going to take my time on this just because we're coming back off of the Christmas break, or not Christmas break, the snow break. I want to make sure the bad weather days. So I want to make sure that you guys have the information that you need. Hopefully you go back and watch it quite a bit. There are two different assessments. I've got them both right here. This one's a little thicker, the exponential functions assessment. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that you guys have the right information, okay? So please pay attention. I'm going to pretty much read this to you, okay, and tell you exactly what's coming. I'm going to change this real quick. Feels like it's really, really high. There we go. Felt like it was right under my chin. It just felt weird. All right, so we're going to go through this, okay? So please pay close attention. Go back through it. If you're watching it online, go back through, watch it again if you need to. Watch this before your test. Right now, this is a Friday. Your guys' assessment is going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So please go back because we've been off a few days, so we want to make sure that we know what we're doing, okay? This is massive because you're going to have two grades on the same day and they're both weighted. So this is going to make a big difference. All right, here we go. The first one. The first thing we're going to talk about, this one's going to be for the exponential function. Exponential functions assessment. You might want to put that at the top of your paper. Exponential functions assessment. This is the review for that one. Okay, this is the one with the exponent talking about do you add it to 1? Do you subtract it from 1? Remember exponential growth, exponential decay, your starting number. Okay, let's go through a couple things really quick. Y equals ABX. Okay, let's remember that. You want to remember that. If you guys remember A, that's your starting point. Okay, and your B is going to be your growth or your what, guys? Decay. Okay, your growth or decay. Remember, growth is above 1. Decay is less than 1. You guys remember? Kind of like I see some nodding. Like, okay, now I kind of remember this now. We've talked a lot about it. All right. First question says a population of, let's say, I'm pretty much going to tell you what the test looks like. I'm just going to change the numbers. Everybody with me on this? All right. A population of, let's say, 1,500 deer decreases by 3% per year. Okay? Decreases by 3%. So how many deer did I just say there were? 1,500 deer. And it what? Decreases. What'd I say? 3% per year. Okay? At the end of 10 years, there will be approximately this many deer in this population. Okay? Which function can be used to determine the number of deer in this population at the end of T years? In other words, the number of deer that you have when they give you that information does not matter. All they want is the equation. Literally, they gave you all that information to ask you what is the equation. Okay? So what do I need in the equation? I need the starting point and the what? Growth or what? Decay. Literally, and then it says you're going to type it like this. You're going to type the bolded, so it looks like this on your test. Y equals A, and then it says 1 plus or minus. Well, I want to make sure I tell you this. 1 plus or minus R. And then you're going to have like the X up here in the top. Okay. All you need to do is just type this in. You guys with me on that? You don't even have to do the exponent. The exponent's already on the outside of the box. You don't have to put the exponent. Okay, so literally it's this. What is my starting number? 1,500. Now, then I go over here. 1 plus or do I do 1 minus? Why 1 minus? Because it's decreasing. So I'm going to put 1 minus. Now, what is 3% as a decimal? Do you guys remember? 0.03. And they already have. So literally, here's what your box is going to look like. So you have to put it in like that, and they already have this on the outside. You don't even have to type the rest of it. They already have the radical with the x. Or the exponent with the x. Everybody good? You just have to type the equation. Don't let all the words get in the way. Okay? Do not let all the words get in the way in these word problems. Fair? Don't let the words get in the way. Okay? All right, here we go. A monster's height is represented by the function of this. Okay? So they're telling you that a monster is doing this. Okay? And I'm just going to give you some random numbers. I'm going to say 5. It says y equals 5, and then it says 3 with an x. Okay. Which of the following could be true about the situation based on the monster's height? Okay. Tell me what you know if you see this. Explain the monster's height with using this. It's increasing. It is increasing, yes. Okay, so that's going to be part of it because 2 of your options say decreasing. Okay, so that knocks out 2 of them, yes. Now, what's the original height? How tall was it to start? 5. What's the factor in the middle? What's the factor in the middle? No, what's the factor right now that you see? It's a growth factor of 3. The factor is 3, so that's all you really need to know. So it started at 5, and then your growth factor, remember, growth or decay, that's your number, okay? Now it's 200%, but your growth factor is a 3, okay? That's all you have to do is tell me, okay? You guys with me on that? Yes? All you have to do is find the right one. Literally, 2 of them say increasing, 2 of them say decreasing. You just got to figure it out, okay? Just read the problems. Okay, cool? Here we go. Number 3, the flu virus has invaded Reedy High School and 1,800 students were infected. Okay, let's just say 1,800 students were infected. Mr. Z disinfected the entire school this weekend. Okay? On Monday, the virus started decreasing by half each day. You think that's important? Yeah. Yes, it is. What happened to it? It was what? Decreasing by half. Identify the correct exponential equation and then determine how many students will still be infected after 4 days. Okay? So if it's decreasing by half, wouldn't my equation be this? 1,800, and then it's going to be what? 1 what? Minus, what's half? 0.5. Now, they're going to give you a multiple choice thing. It's like going to be a drag and drop. You guys with me on this? It's not going to give it to you like this. They're actually going to solve the middle one on this one. So what's 1,800? What's 100? Or what's 1 minus 0.5? Calculator. What's 1 minus 0.5? 0.5. They're going to have a 0.5 in the middle. You guys with me on that? So you just have to find the right one. You won't have both options. You will not have both options. And literally none of them have like 1 plus or 1 minus. All the numbers in the middle are solved. So you're just going to have to figure out which one it is. Okay? Everybody good? And then to figure out how many it is after 4 days, just go up here and make that a what? 4, and just solve it. Or you can go to the table like I showed you. Everybody remember that? Okay. You can do that one, correct? Cool. Moving on. They're going to give you, oh, this one's easy. All right, they're going to give you a domain and a range. I'm going to erase this. Okay, there we go. They're going to give you an equation that looks like this. Let's say it does this. Or not an equation, a graph. It looks something like that. I'm not going to give you the exact graph. What is the domain always? Well, it is X, but what is, there's going to be a drop button. Left to right. Is there a left? It's negative infinite to what, guys? Positive infinite. Remember X, and then we put like this. Or it might say all real numbers. Okay, there is an option that says all real numbers, which is the same thing. It's the same thing as all. What's the same thing as, guys? Or what? All real numbers. They're all the same thing. Okay. Now, then they're going to ask for the range. Okay, remember range is bottom to top. Yes? Is there a bottom on this one? Yeah, I would say that it gets close to what? I'd say it passes 1. I would say 0. So 0, does it go up from 0 or down from 0? So y is greater than 0. Y is greater than 0, literally. Okay. Everybody good? What is range? Bottom to what? So what would this one be if I do something like this? Let's say 1, 2, 3. Let's say my graph looks like this. Is there a bottom? Yeah. What is it? 3. Positive or negative? Positive. What is that? Negative 3. Does it go up from negative 3 or go down from negative 3? Now hold on. Does it go up from negative 3? Y is greater than negative 3. Okay. Even though it's going that direction, I'm not. You have to look at it from range. You have to look at it from bottom to top. Is there anything below negative 3? No, everything is where? Above -3, so it's greater than -3. Okay, so please pay attention to that. That one shouldn't be too bad. It's multiple choice, but don't be careful which one you choose, okay? If you were going to go to Texas A&M, you put $500 in a bank account, it's going to be increasing by 12% per year. Write a function to talk how much you're going to make. All right, so how much, what did I say? $500. How much is it increasing by? 12%, right? Write me an equation. Y equals what, guys? Help me. 500. 1 plus 0.12, or I could just say 1.12. Yes? Yes? It's increasing, which means it goes up above 1. Okay? Literally, 2 of the options are below 1. If it's increasing, it should not be above 1, or it should not be below 1. Okay? Identify the y-intercept and the horizontal asymptote. Okay, so that one you're going to have to graph. You guys have a calculator? It's going to look like this. Y equals 4. Let's call it 1/2 with an X. Go to y equals and hit graph. Now, if you don't want to do 1/2, what could I do instead in the middle? Or just 0.5. Just put 0.5 if it's. Now, I'd be very careful about doing that. You want to make sure that like 1/3. You don't want to put 0.333. Don't do that. If you need a fraction, here's your button. Alpha y equals 1. Okay, that's been up there since the beginning of the year. What's my y-intercept? It's 5. It's what? 0.4. It's always this number, guys. It's always that number. Because what is the y-intercept? What y-intercept represents the what? Your starting point. Okay, which is the first number. Now, who has the graph? Let me see it. Hit graph. What does it look like it gets to, but it never fully crosses?
0.
Y equals 0. Then your graph looks like this. Would you agree? Is that what it looks like?
Yeah.
Okay, my horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. Everybody good on that? What is the asymptote? It's the line that it what? Almost gets to, but it never fully touches it. It looks like it gets there, but it really doesn't. Remember that was the example I gave you in class? You can't cut a piece of paper in half down to 0. Okay, you can't do that. There's always going to be something. All right, here we go. The value of crypto, it's increasing by 60% each week. If you invested $300, what's the value of your crypto after 6 weeks? Okay. Do they give me a starting number? Yes. Do they tell me that it increased by 60%? Okay, so here we go. How much did I say I invested? $600? Okay, I made up numbers. I'm not giving you the exact test, but I'm reading it to you and just changing numbers. So I invested $600 and it's increasing by what? What'd I say? 60%? Do me a favor, write the equation. Practice it. Let's see if we can remember it. And then we want to figure out what it is after the 6th week. Okay, after the 6th week. That's a lot of 6s. Not on purpose. Just kind of could throw a 7 in there. Is it starting to die out already? It is. I gotta wear my Santa 6-7 shirt one more time before it gets to February. I can still wear Santa shirts in January. Oh, today's the last day. Like literally, it's about to be February. Dang, snuck up on us. All right, here we go. What'd you get? Y equals 600. 1 plus 0.6, right? Or you could say what, guys? 1.6. They're not going to ask you to write the equation. They're going to ask you to give me a number of what it's going to be worth. So it doesn't matter if you do that or if you do 1.6. It does not matter. It's the same thing. Everybody understand that? What goes on the outside? Well, 6. So what is it on the 6 year? How much is it? How much is it worth? Anybody? Remember, we used the little caret thing to get the exponent. 60 here. We struggling a little bit.
10,066.
Ooh, 10,000.
Well, it says it's for the same thing every single.
Oh, because what you did was you put a 6 in the exponent. If you wanted to see the actual table, if you want to see the table, you change the x to a 6. Or change the 6 to an x. If you want to see the actual growth, and then hit second in table. Okay. What'd you get? 1,000 what?
10,000.
Goes up $10,000? Oh, wow. Okay. 10,000 whatever. So you're going to put the number in. That's what they're going to ask you for. Everybody good? All right. The next one, what is the range? They're going to ask you to graph it. Just find the range. Fair? Yes?
Yeah.
Bottom to top. Number 9. Which of the following represents the exponential function of this? Okay. First of all, y equals 4 parentheses 2 with an x. Let me ask you this. Is that exponential growth or is that exponential decay? Growth, which means the graph should be going which direction? Up. So I'm looking for something that's doing that. You guys with me? So all you have to do is find the right graph with the right equation. They give you 4 options. Okay. All you have to do is put the equation. All you have to do is put the equation into your calculator and find the one that matches. Fair? Cool. Let's move on. By the way, my y-intercept on this one would be 4, so I'm looking for the one that crosses at 4. Okay. Oh, last one. Last one. Here we go. Which one represents the table of values? You had this one the other day. Well, I don't know if you guys were here. Honestly, it's been so long, so I don't really know. All right, let's say you have a table that looks like this. X, Y. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say you have -5, -10, -20, -40, -80. Okay. I want you to give me the equation. You guys remember how to do this? What's my starting number? -5. Hold on. What am I looking for, guys? The y-intercept, right? I'm looking for the y-intercept. So this would be y equals, I'm going to start with -5. Now, what are they doing from here to here to here to here? No. What are they doing? They're multiplying by what? Are they multiplying by +2 or -2? Positive. How do you know it's positive? Because if it was negative, the signs would be switching. But do the signs switch? No, they do not, which means it's a positive number. So if I'm multiplying by 2, all I do is just I'm done. And I just put the x up here. There it is. I'm done with it. Everybody understand? Make sense? Make sure you mark that one. Put like a little star next to it. Make sure you don't miss that one. Literally, I'm trying to help you. This is kind of a bonus for people that are watching this video. The test is going to have a bunch of negatives right down that line. Okay, I'm looking right at it. The signs do not switch back and forth. Okay, everybody good on that? All right, let's go to the other one. Exponential rules assessment. Exponential rules assessment. All right, make a little spot in your graph. This is the important one, or they're both important, really. Exponential rules assessment. Okay, let's talk about the rules. When you have a common base, let's remember the rules really quick. When you have a common base, when you multiply, what do you do with the exponents? When you multiply with a common base, what do you do with the exponents, guys? You add them together. For example, x to the 3rd times x to the 5th, that is x to the 8th. When you have a common base, you add the exponents together. Yes? When you divide, what do you do with the exponents? Okay, if you multiply, you add. Okay, it's opposite. You subtract these. So we would have like x to the fifth over x to the third. That's x to the second. Remember, like that would be like listing out x 5 times over x 3 times, and you can cancel them out. Remember that? Do I need to show that to anybody? See some no's. Everybody's good? Cool. All right, what if you have a power to a power? What do? That's right. That's where you multiply. We're going to multiply those. So that's going to be x to the fifth times x to the third power. That would be x to the 15th power. That's where you would multiply those. Okay, when you have that parentheses, you're going to distribute it. Okay. All right. What are you laughing at? Okay. All right. Can I erase that? We good? Everybody, I still see people writing. Are we okay? Okay. Nobody's telling me to stop, so I'm moving on. All right, here we go. First one. Literally, like I said, I made this entire test multiple choice just to try to help you out. Okay, just to try to help you. Here we go. The first one's actually not incredibly easy, but here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go 4x to the fifth over x to the second, y to the third to the second power. Don't overthink this. Okay. What's the word? We talk about PEMDAS, right? You guys remember that? So I'm going to solve everything in the parentheses first. Everybody understand that? Simplify the parentheses first, and then use the exponent on the outside. Remember, what goes first? What's the P? Parentheses. Simplify the parentheses first. Can I do anything with this 4 right now? No, I cannot. So I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to watch what I'm doing. I'm just canceling. Now, what's the next letter you see? I have x5 over x2. So if I write it out, wouldn't that be like this? Just the x's. Wouldn't that be x5 over x2? Cancel out 2 of them. What do I have? X to the third on top. Good. Now, what am I left with? Y3. Can I do anything with that? Do I need to flip it? Is it a negative? No. So just leave it alone for now. Y3. Now I can simplify with that second power. Now I can just go one term at a time. Yes? What is 4 squared? 16. Remember, the exponent rules do not apply to coefficients. You just do whatever it tells you. Okay? What is x to the third? What's x to the third to the second power? What do you do with power of power? So what's 3 times 2? Now, what's 2 times 3 again? Down here. We're done. There's my answer. I see a lot of nodding. You're like, okay, I remember this. Everybody good? Not too crazy. Is it a little bit easier when you break it down into sections? Yes, please don't try to do too much at once, okay? Just take your time with this, okay? All right, number 2. This 10, oh, by the way, this one's going to be 10. They're both going to be 10 questions. They're both going to be 10 questions, which is not crazy, okay? If you want to, you can mark that down. 10 questions for this one. Here we go. Number 2 looks like this. Negative 3, ab to the fourth, times negative 4, a to the third, b to the second. Okay, what's the first thing you see in each term? Is there anything to do inside the parentheses first? Can I simplify any of this? No. All right, what's negative 3 times negative 4? Positive 12. Done. Cross them off. Cross them off. What's my next letter? A. I have A and A3. A4. Why do I add them? Because when you multiply, you add the exponents. What's B4, B2? We're done. That's simple as that. I mean, that's it. Everybody good with that? Number 3 looks a lot like this. 12a b to the third over 6a to the second b to the ninth to the 0 power. What do you think? The answer is 1. Why? 0 power to anything is what? The answer is 1. If the 0 is on the outside, what is the answer, guys? not 0. And don't try to simplify this. Don't. I mean, you can, but you're still going to be left with 0 power. 0 power makes it a 1. Okay, we've talked about that several times. Okay. Number 4. Solve. Tell me what you got. I'll stand here and look at you awkwardly if you want to. Go ahead.
Is it X2, Y2?
That's it. That's all it is. X1, X1, Y, X2. Y, Y, Y2. Done. Don't overthink those. If there is no exponent, what's the exponent, guys? It's a 1. The only time it's 0 is if you actually see the 0 power. How many times have you seen a first power? You don't see them. You do see 0 power. You don't see a 1, okay? All right. Literally, number 5 is the same thing. You just add the exponents together. I'm not going to do that again just for the sake of time. Okay, we good? Number 6 looks a lot like that one, just different letters. Okay. 7. I mean, like literally, 6x to the third. I'm going to do it. 7x to the second. What we get?
42 to the X5.
42 to the x5, x to the 5th power. Here's what some of the options are going to tell you. By the way, they're going to try to mess with your. I told you I made this entire test multiple choice. Yes? I'm telling you, here's what they're going to try to do. Here's one of your options that you're going to see. They're going to try to get you to add the first 2 numbers on the front. Do not do that, okay? You only add what? The exponents. Only add the exponents, please, okay? Number 8, kind of the same thing. It's just got some negatives on it. Who cares? Okay, not negative exponents, just negative numbers. Okay, you just add the exponents together. All right, here we go. Number 9. We're cruising through this one. I just want to make sure you understand the basics of this. These exponents. Okay. All right, here we go. This one's a little more complicated. Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated? Okay. 4 to the 16th over 4 to the 2nd. Solve that with an exponent. Don't simplify it all the way out. What's the common base? What's the base? What's the big one? 4. What do you do when you divide? What do you do with the exponent? What's 16 minus 2? There's my answer. I'm done. Don't overthink that one either, okay? Because the instructions are going to say which expression is equivalent to, and they're going to give it to you like that with a number with the exponents. Don't let the fact that it's a number confuse you. Yes. You can. You can simplify it out, but what it is, it's kind of like this. If I have x to the 16th over x to the 2nd, wouldn't that be x to the 14th? Yes. We just kept the base. My base on this one's x, so we kept the x. Yes. My base on this one's a 4, so we kept the 4. Same principle, just the fact that it's a letter doesn't change the rules. The base stays the same. I see a lot of nodding. Everybody good? Now, they're not going to give you an option that is equal to 4 to the 14th power, which is like a stupid big number. They're not going to give you that as an option. It's going to say like 4 to the 14th. Okay, everybody good? All right, last one. I'm going to let you work on this one. This one's division. Negative 24. Yeah, let's do it. X to the 5th, y to the 4th over 4, x to the 2nd, y. Go. Let's see if we can solve that one. I'm not going to pause the video. I'm going to let you work on this. Last one. Let's see if we can do it. What do you do with exponents when you have division? Subtract them. By the way, these aren't exponents. What's negative 24 divided by 4? That's going to be your number on the front. You have a calculator right in front of you. Don't be scared to use it. Dr. Pepper, the nectar of the gods. This review has been brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Huh? Sponsor. I would not be angry if somebody at Dr. Pepper saw that and wanted to send me a lifetime supply for my classroom. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? All right. What do we got? -6. Good. That simplifies that. Correct? Now go to the next letter. You guys, how am I doing this? What did I do? I went down, I cross it off, I'm going to the next letter. Correct? What's the next letter? X5, X2. What do you get? X to the third on top. Okay? Y4, Y1, Y what? There's my answer. I'm done. I'm finished. How many of you are like, okay, I could do this? Feeling pretty good about that one? Okay. Please, like I said, if you need to, go back and watch that video. Please go back, watch it several times if you have to. Because this one that we just went over, the second one is actually going to be a waterfall. So you want to make sure that you have that one. Okay. It's a waterfall that can replace your grades. Okay. The IPR grades have already been saved. So some of your IPR grades are not going to be great. Okay. But this will fix that. This will fix that. And you're going to have a second quiz that isn't overly difficult, but we've been gone. So I want to make sure that you go back and watch it and watch it and watch it again. Everybody understand? Cool. Make sure you're ready. You guys can take a break.